Alex Jones weighed in on the proliferation of gay rights in America, and his take is classic Alex Jones.
Let's move on to the gay marriage thing. I'm a libertarian, and if you're a real listener and not somebody with a script, you would know not hundreds but thousands of times, and if you listen to my show for the first 18 years, I didn't even cover this, I don't get into what you do in your bedroom. Okay? I am not in people's bedrooms. I am not a Pharisee. I'm not a hypocrite. My world does not revolve around sex either, and so I'm sick of it. It's a football issue. It's not a federal issue. It's a distraction to be passed back and forth. Now, the truth is there is a move at the UN. There is a move to sexualize children. Sumner Redstone has said that, and it's nobody's business to be trying to target children with Heather has two mommies, or you can't say boy or girl because somebody may not identify as that. That is space cult, suicide cult, exterminism, craziness. The eugenics transhumanist cult wants to confuse the general species ahead of rendering us down and removing us. The decision has been made. Cheer up, the post-human era is dawning. The plan is an asexual humanoid, even if they decide to keep us around, stated in hundreds of textbooks.
What? What the fuck was that? What stated in hundreds of textbooks? The things you just said? Oh, I'd bet any amount of money that's not in any textbooks. What are you saying? It's classic Alex Jones because he starts out like, you know, I'm a libertarian, but always with Alex Jones, it's funny how there's a but after his I'm a libertarian part. To all the real libertarians out there, and there are many real libertarians out there, what do you think of Alex Jones? No, you know what he is? He's a conspiracy theorist first, and second, third, or maybe 26th on his list is libertarianism. Okay, so this idea, I'm a libertarian, but, yeah, that sounds a lot like I'm a racist, but. And then usually it's followed by something racist. I'm a libertarian, but yeah, the whole gay rights thing and equality under the law and let people do whatever the fuck they want to do. I'm on that side except for when I'm not. Okay, so you're not a libertarian on that issue. Just say it. Just say it. And then he's like, well, the UN, their plan is to sexualize kids. The UN is trying to sexualize kids? I missed the memo. That seems like a pretty big story to me. I would think that everybody would report on that. Why is it that nobody reported on that? Must be because they're part of the Illuminati Bilderberg conspiracy with the Rockefellers and the New World Order and the FEMA camps, black helicopters, chemicals in the fucking apple juice, something. Must be that. And then he says that, you know, the problem is, I know how they're sexualizing kids. Heather has two mommies. That's what they're telling the kids. And they're telling them that you refer to them as what they want to be referred to them as. And? So what, you're against the fact that some transgender kids exist where they know from a very young age and they want to take a medical action on that front? So you're against them being referred to the type of gender as they want to be referred to as? And you're against... You idiot! The reason they're doing... they have books now that are like, oh, Heather has two mommies, or whatever the fuck it's called. The reasoning behind that is... They want kids to know, because kids can be fucking assholes and they can be really tribalistic with each other. They want them to know, hey, you can't judge this person because they have, you know, two parents of the same sex or something like that. So they're teaching them tolerance. They're teaching them open-mindedness. The idea is not to tell the straight kids, you have to be gay. That's not what's going on here. But see, they always, when the right wing has no argument, they just make shit up. So they say, well, we can't win the argument on the facts, so we'll do a straw man. And we'll say, you guys aren't just trying to teach tolerance and equality. What you're trying to do is you're trying to say that the straight kids need to be called by the other gender and that they themselves are going to be forced on gay dates. That's the story we did last week. Some right-wing radio host was like, it's official. The government is forcing kindergartners to gay date. Shamelessly make it up, and then, of course, at the end, more classic Alex Jones. You know, I am a libertarian, but the thing with the kids and the gays and the this and that, it's a space cult, suicide, transhumanism, asexuality. You just took a whole bunch of different words and slapped them together in a sentence and acted like they made sense. They don't make sense. What do you mean space cult? What does that mean? Space cult? Space cult. What the fuck is a space cult? What are you saying? What does that mean? Or are there aliens that I don't know about that you know about? Let me guess. They're Bilderberg aliens. They must be Bilderberg aliens. Again, this idea that gay people are trying to make, or LGBT activists are trying to make everybody asexual. Why would they do that? No gay rights activist has ever said that. They've just said, for people who are gay, treat them equally, treat them with tolerance. But he makes it up and says, no, that's not their real goal, because of course he knows their real goal. Their real goal is to get all of us to be asexual so we don't reproduce and we don't have kids. And the reason why the gays don't want us to have kids is because they want humanity to go extinct. Because you know how those gays are. They're a lot like Nazis, how they want to just wipe people out. No, Alex, you have to understand that you're making all this shit up. And this is why it's hard for people to take you seriously. And I get it, man. We've spoken about Alex Jones before. And there's plenty of things he talks about that I agree with him on. He's against war. He's against American imperialism. I'm 100% with you on that, man. And we argue for it on a day in and day out basis. You're against the NSA spying on absolutely everybody in the country. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. We could talk about that. You might be against the drug war, too, maybe. I don't know for sure on that one. But there are plenty of areas where we can agree. But you caricature everything about yourself when you start talking about the space cult, transhumanism, asexuality, something. It's not real. Stop.